What's cracking, people? It's your man Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high-level technicians, operating globally and beyond. So listen, today I wanted to discuss a topic that came up during a discussion that myself and the Field Master Ron Wills had while we were in the gym getting ready to get into our call-out workouts. And this particular conversation has come up often over a period of time when discussing the relationship dynamic between men who participated in athletics in different stages of their life, including their professional lives, and men who did not. And the key difference that I pointed out, and I'll actually cut in a little clip of that conversation here, but the key difference between the mentality of a man who grew up playing sports, be it baseball, basketball, football, track, or any other sports, organized sports in grammar school, high school, or collegiate levels, is that he has always maintained a relatively close relationship with the most popular girls in that space. And real quick, here's that clip from that conversation that is played in its entirety over on the Patreon side. I'll get back to you on the other side of this.
When did you first learn body game, or just learn the effect that a man's body has, not just on his well-being, but on the women he deals with?
That's the best question ever. I would say it started at high school, playing high school sports. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's played high school sports knows that football, baseball, basketball, when we trained, we always trained right next to the cheerleaders. And from the first time I played sports, we always had cheerleaders next to us. And I realized that that was a comfort zone and sort of an unspoken connection between the two of us, athletes and cheerleaders. They're athletes too, but that's where it first started for me. And throughout my life, I've realized that the more that you take care of yourself, take care of your body, it'll take care of you.
So, gentlemen, beyond just taking care of your body, but taking care of your mind, nurturing your spirit, which can be considered your energy, is also very, very important. And that's why we stress that in this space when we discuss topics that contribute ultimately to your skill sets to be used on your journey of masculine mastery. But to get back to the original topic, in high school and also playing collegiate sports, those who know understand that we would travel together. I remember those long ass bus rides to away games. We're on one side, the cheerleaders or the dance team, whatever, was on the other side, and we would switch seats. We would jump into different rows and things like that. We would have our chants. We would play. We were kids. We were young people. And it was just a way of life. It was a way of our social development between, the athletes and the cheerleaders and dance squad. We would help each other stretch sometimes. But the thing about it, and what I look back and what I understand about this stage of development and why it's easier, going back to the topic, why athletes keep Dymes, is because there's a level of comfort and familiarity there. Not only if we're just talking about professional athletes, obviously that's a whole other stratosphere. You've got so many other factors with the money and the fame and all of this other stuff. But when you boil it down to the developmental stages of the life of an athlete and of the life of the popular girl, aka the cheerleader, the dance squad, or whatever, we didn't have contracts back then. You're just student athletes who are enjoying your time, enjoying doing what you're doing, enjoying practices, enjoying those road trips, playing jokes on each other. The outside world may see this glamorized, tight-bodied, coordinated young, effervescent ray of sunshine. But when we see her, we're like, oh, that's big head. Okay, look at her. All right, I see she finally got her own razor. Because when we're hanging out, we're just chilling. She's using our razor to, shave her armpit hair, or, to shave her legs and everything like that. Just being annoying as all get out. We see the other side of the bottle models, the beauty queens, the AKA dime pieces, that most guys don't get to see. See, when most guys take these women out, they'll get the salad, they'll get the water with the lime slice or whatever, and they may give the guy a peck on the cheek or whatever. But when we're hanging out, she's getting those wings. All right, we go smash the wings together. All right, we'll take it back to the crib. We'll definitely make sure that we get it in. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely smashing before the wings start digesting and everything like that, because now I got a rubber stomach, so it'll start going down smoother, and now she's ready to fart, so now it's going to be like a farting contest, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But the point about this is there's a whole other side and different levels of comfort that athletes have with dimes that most men don't get. So dimes, they don't have to worry about putting on that outside mask. Dimes around athletes, most athletes, I don't know what these new guys are about, but that's another conversation for another day. But most athletes who were socialized around female athletes, around cheerleaders, dance squad, and such like that, in a way that allowed us to be comfortable in their presence, and for them to be comfortable with us. I think that that's one of the key takeaways. Most dimes who were cheerleaders, dance squad, or whatever, they know what they're getting for the majority of the time. For the most part, they know what they're getting when they're around athletes, when they're around spaces that contain male athletes at various levels, high school, collegiate, and professional level, to an extent. That we can have the other conversation about pro athletes. That's another sort of stratosphere. But for the most part, what makes dimes comfortable around male athletes is not only the fact that most men view these women as stars, so they view most men as fans, whereas with the male athletes, they look at them as contemporaries, because in the younger developmental stages of their social journey, the women were made to be comfortable around the men, to the point of sharing spaces, sharing workout areas, sharing transportation, just really having this sense of camaraderie. But the same goes not only for the women, but goes for the men. On our side of it, when we see a woman who was a student athlete, when we see a woman who is into fitness, who is into taking care of her body and her mental space, whereas most men would feel intimidated or be like, damn, look at that, or marvel, in her presence or whatever, it actually makes us feel more comfortable. We see a woman like this and we're instantly brought back to when, that's our playmate, that's our buddy, that's our play cousin, that's little mama from the track team, or that's long legs from the basketball team, or Nunu from the cheer squad, right? And so there is immediately this space of familiarity, or at least a slight comfort in that first encounter, that allows men who were athletes and who were socialized around a certain caliber of female at even a younger age to have an easier time approaching, interacting with, and actually having a good interaction with a quote-unquote dime, even more so than the quote-unquote average-looking woman, or the 5'6" or 7. And plenty of stories in different places, different states, different cities, interacting with women who would be considered average in a social setting, and how awkward that was, simply because of her past traumas, or not being the popular girl, or not knowing what to say when she's in the presence of a man who takes care of his body, in the presence of a man who knows how to present his masculinity and has owned his personality or charisma. A lot of women who are not used to dealing with select men have an issue, or have hangups, or are just intimidated when they're in the present and they have the opportunity. Okay, we're in this social scene, a lot of people are interacting. I chose you. How you doing, this thing? And they will freeze up. They will, go into a state of disbelief. They will sabotage the interaction, whatever it takes to get away from that space. And if that does carry forward beyond that space, they may even try to get back at that select man or that former athlete for all the guys who they wanted when they were younger and couldn't get, or they were ignored by or passed over. So there's a whole lot of things that go into why it's easier for athletes to meet, approach, interact, and often keep Dymes for longer than the average man. Select men, pre-select men, non-select men. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, this is your man Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.